And it's on a pretty solemn note that we join you here for Green and Gold Army TV. Harvey Silver with John Kosmina and Cosy. We're in the car park after, can we call it the debacle? And we're about to get back on the buses and head back to Johannesburg. Not a debacle. How did you see it?
No, I don't think it was a debacle. I think we got beaten by a much better side. And you've got to be realistic. You know, we've done well to get where we are in the first place. Put it in perspective, Germany are one of the top nations in the world. They certainly proved that tonight. It didn't matter. We could have played better than we did, and it wouldn't have made any difference. They were going to score goals. They were dynamite tonight. We made a couple of mistakes that probably cost us. You know, we lost Timmy Cahill, which is unfortunate. But we need to be positive about it. Ghana beat Serbia with 10 minutes to go with a penalty kick. We play Ghana next weekend. Let's knock them over. The Germans play Serbia, and if they demonstrate that kind of form through the week, they should give them a pasting. And all of a sudden, we're back in the mix. So it will all come down, like it did the last World Cup, to probably the last game.
We always were going to have to get something out of the game against Ghana. It's probably the question now is whether the boys can pick themselves up after that, and obviously without Timmy Cahill, it is going to be tough.
Yeah, but look, sometimes you've got to stand up in the face of adversity. A door's open for somebody else. How Pim's going to approach us, I'm not too sure. He dragged Vinnie Griller at half-time, and Vinny's been a 90-minute bloke from day one. He is out of form. It wasn't good for him tonight. So Pim's probably going to look at different options in the middle of the park. Look, the guard is changing slowly. We don't want it to change too quickly during the World Cup, but it was interesting for me tonight that Harry Kewell didn't even get a look in. Yet he was on the bench, so I've got to question his fitness and, you know, whether Verbeek thinks he's up to the job at all. Josh Kennedy, when the substitute opportunity came for a striker, Rukavica come on, and I was quite happy with Nikita Rukavica. I think he caused a few problems. He's got raw pace, he's young, he's enthusiastic, and maybe Pim Verbeek needs to look at it and say, you know, we can play conservatively, but it's not the natural style of these guys. Let's get them playing a little bit more aggressively, which may bring us more out of our shell.
Well, we'll come back and look ahead to Ghana and all other things, but it's been a long day. You're looking great, Cosy. I'm looking a bit dishevelled, but it has been a long day. We left on these buses at 6 a.m. We had a lovely stop on the way through, didn't we? And we're going to have a look, and I also caught up with a very special guest. Amazing who you run into. The Midmar Dam, an hour outside Durban. I'm just wandering around. The great Craig Johnson. How are you, mate?
Really good, thanks. And yourself?
I'm fantastic. Now, of course, I haven't just run into you. You've been travelling with us the whole way through with the 60 Minutes crew.
I have, yeah. We've been in South Africa for about 8 or 9 days now, and did some really interesting filming. Apart from being to the German and the Australian camp a couple of times, we've been into the townships, and I mean really into the townships, into the houses of how the people live there, and the soccer pickup games at dusk and all the classic stuff you have to do, and it's been fascinating.
Well, it's going to be fascinating in a few hours' time too. You must be as excited as everyone else to see the Socceroos come up against Germany.
Well, it's been a long wait, you know, since we had the draw, yeah, I don't know about excited. I'm really nervous now, you know, and I spoke to a couple of old mates of mine, and they're pretty nervous as well, you know. We've been excited up to now, but now it's the nerves are kicking in.
Well, you're going to embarrass yourself here, because by the time the Green and Gold Army see this on Green and Gold Army TV, the game will be run and won. But what do you think's going to happen?
Well, I hope the lads can draw inspiration from South Africa. You know, USA versus England. You know, the underdogs seem to be, you know, holding their own, and Australia on paper are the underdogs. And I've said, you know, they can win if, and I think they will, Australia treat this as their World Cup final. Because I know the Germans, having been to the camp, are treating this as the first game in a long campaign for them, and that's where psychologically we might just happen. And if we win, if we've won, right, and the guys are watching this, it's because the Aussies have said this is it. This could be our last game unless we win it.
Well, I'll tell you what, if we do win, I don't know if they will ever see this, because I don't know if we'll get this back. The party will be so big. Mate, you have been partying along with us. This tour has just been sensational, hasn't it?
Yeah, it has. You know, and I've lived in football for a bit, and there's fans and there's fans, and you know, the Green and Gold Army, they're Aussie fans, you know, and I'm a bit biased, but they're nicer. They seem to have more manners and more respect for other people's culture and place. You know, seriously, as far as football fans go, there's some ugly ones out there from other countries, but you know, these are really respectful, and I think personally that's what it's all about.
Absolutely, the experience has been fantastic. Really appreciate your time. We're going to head back in there and enjoy the braai. We're going to have a braai, aren't we? We're going to steam up some chicken, and what are they going to do for us?
I thought that was a beer, a braai. I was going to have a half a dozen braais.
I think we might have at least that, and head on over back to the buses and out to the game. Thanks again, really appreciate it, and enjoy tonight. I'm sure we're all going to.
Sure will. Come on, the Aussie.
Cheers! 1, 2, 3!
That was fun down there. Cosy, you actually didn't want to leave and come to the game. You were hoping we could set up a big screen and just stay down there by the dam.
Oh look, it was a beautiful afternoon, and after freezing our proverbials off in Johannesburg for the last 4 or 5 days, the sunshine was a welcome relief. But look, no, of course you want to get here. I mean, I got a buzz on the bus. I went and watched Argentina and Nigeria last night, and it was great to go to the football, but it wasn't the same as an Aussie match. And coming down on the bus, I had a good feeling about it, to be perfectly honest. So maybe I won't trust my gut anymore.
Well, we've got a few days now to have a bit of a relax, go out and see some other matches, not worry so much about the Socceroos, and then we'll be back to play against Ghana, and that'll be a biggie. So you get back on the bus, recover, and probably have a sleep for about 7 hours as we get back to Joburg.
I'll have a great sleep. You too, Harvey, because you need one more than I do by the look of it.
I do. I'm not looking great, and we'll see you probably in about 24 hours when we do our next instalment of Green and Gold Army TV.